Right now, there's an epidemic in China you need to know about.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
And why is no one talking about it? From Chinese beauty filters to the world of shadow clone makeup, we're no strangers to Chinese trends. Even shaving our skulls is fair game to be performative and attractive. Yes, I'm serious. Now, Chinese beauty culture has always had a thing for baby faces. And this isn't new. You open up Douyin and it looks like everybody is compensating for a bad personality trait. Big eyes, small face. It's no different for Chinese men or women. Technically, I'm 27, but I want to look like I can go and retake second grade aesthetic. Isn't that a little weird? So, digital filters don't actually harm your physical body, it just messes up on your entire view of beauty standards. But what if we stopped eating microplastic and just started injecting plastic in our heads to look, a little bit more alien? Welcome to the Chinese influencer obsession with the so-called high school beauty. And if you've been scrolling on Douyin, you're gonna see so many influencers demonstrating it. It's where your face isn't a face anymore. It's a set of facial proportions that either pass or fail the influencer test. And this geometry lesson is extremely controversial. The concept is simple. If the distance between your hairline and the top of your skull is longer than the distance between your eyebrows and your hairline, congrats, you're almost proportional. You have redefined the pinnacle of Chinese beauty. Your head would be considered high, and once your head is high, your face will look smaller. Ah, yes, it won't be physically smaller, but for your iPhone 17 Max Pro camera, it will. Of course, it's all about angles. And that's where things get interesting, because if you're on Chinese internet, this is way different than American beauty culture. Americans keep things as an ultimatum. You either find shite or you're chopped. Netizens on Xiaolhongshu love to move the goalposts, however, when it comes to online praise. It's the classic move. If I can't feel any better about myself, make it feel like everyone else is equally screwed. If your head isn't high enough, then your face is big. And if your face is big, then you look old. And if you look old, you fail. Especially for influencers whose income depends on their appearance. And this is where the ratios come in. Not one ratio, an epidemic of facial ratios. The most famous is 3 sections, 5 eyes. Your face is divided vertically into 3 equal parts. Hairline to brow, brow to nose tip, and nose tip to chin. All 3 equal. Horizontally, your face width should equal exactly 5 eye widths across. That's the original rule. Simple as that. Except the internet looked at this and said, we can go further. Then came the golden ratio, where your features need to be aligned with mathematical proportions derived from Renaissance art made by Italian men who are all dead and had no idea that they were setting beauty standards for Chinese women in 2026. Now, proportions in beauty have always existed everywhere in every culture. Now, Douyin is its own culture, where normalcy is boring. So the ratio stopped being a reference point and became a destination. And then the destination kept moving further away. And then people, sadly mostly young women, started physically moving their faces to reach it. And here's the thing that no one tells you at the end of the journey. The ratios aren't actually naturally achievable by most people. That's the point. If everybody already had the perfect high head, there'd be nothing to fix and nothing to sell. So the Olympics happened, and Americans were feuding with Chinese-American athlete Ilan Gu, who among Chinese netizens had a nickname that basically meant rich, successful, and conventionally pretty. Maybe a little bit too rich, also based on these snark comments. So Chinese influencers needed to steal back the spotlight. If Ilan was both pretty and accomplished, online beauty standard needed to level the playing field. This has been happening for quite a while, not just right now, and that's where the fix came in. And by fix, I mean injecting filler into your scalp so that your head becomes inflated or hopefully alien. The most common method is injecting hyaluronic acid directly into your head. It essentially hydrates your skin, but here's what they don't tell you. This is temporary, and also your scalp is massive. Okay, I mean not just yours, but also every supermodel's as well. So you need way more filler than you think to make a real difference. There's a story time for this. There's this viral beauty influencer who really wanted a high skull. Now it did start at the safer end. Many influencers promoted headbands and foam pads, pretty much just push your hair a little bit forward and higher, mainly with hair tutorials promising extra volume at the crown, because no headband was going to cut it. Having 50 syringes of hyaluronic acid injected into their scalp. At first, everything seemed fine, but things took a turn. Let's see the results. Wait a second.
全过程第2弹，这就是小时做完了，现在出门去吃饭。在小韩都啥都。
Did she really just do that to herself? A couple of months later, she posted a video where she removed her headband and it revealed a massive bald patch. She was crying on camera, explaining how she's gone for a crown lift filler 2 months earlier after watching face-to-head proportion videos, and a month later, her hair started falling out in clumps. The doctor said that her hair follicles entered dormancy because the filler restricted blood flow. Her hair straight up had anxiety. In other words, her hair was in full anxiety mode and decided to hibernate. The same way a college student might sleep 14 hours straight after a bad final, except you're not bald afterwards. Hopefully. Thankfully, she eventually got the fillers dissolved. The doctor said because there wasn't any permanent scarring yet, her hair might grow back. Hopefully, her social credit can regenerate as well. Because netizens are brutal. Some of them even commented this. But what if we remove the temporary part? Because apparently 50 syringes into your scalp isn't clearly extreme enough when you're competing with Olympic athletes for online relevance and praise. And this is where there's a new challenger. Bone cement. Not concrete, bone cement. Performed by licensed surgeons for medical reasons, so your face can look a single digit smaller. Here, it's being marketed as the ultimate high skull solution because there's no maintenance. Okay, we need to talk about this. Now, I'm gonna break this down exactly how this procedure works, but it's genuinely and low-key generally so bad. Simple terms. They open up a small part of your scalp, inject the bone cement, and then it hardens and solidifies permanently. These women are leaving the procedure, and it's done. You can't change it. Congratulations, you now have an iron helmet inside your head. At least maybe you can enchant it with Protection 3 this time? With Intelligence 4 next time? Around summer 2025, a 29-year-old woman from Jiangsu paid around 180,000 won at a beauty salon to achieve this look. Remember, this wasn't a hospital, it was a beauty salon. She said she always hated how her forehead looked, and when she found out about bone cement, she knew she had the answer. Because obviously, when you don't like your forehead, the solution is to drill into your skull. Now, according to reports, this salon used staple-like clips to close the actual gaps, instead of actual medical materials. The whole procedure? It only took 20 to 30 minutes. She left with bandages around her head. She was smiling, posting videos, saying she wished she'd done it earlier. You would think that someone would be at least a little bit nervous about having their skull opened. But no. Netizens quickly pointed out that bone cement in your head is basically asking for permanent damage. Not only that, but short-term effects can disrupt your blood supply to your scalp and cause baldness. And of course, everyone asks the most obvious question. What happens in 5 years? Does it get removed? What if beauty standards change? And they will change. They always do. And when they do, reversing this isn't like uninstalling that one dating app. I hate you, Hinge. This is just a sad situation. There was no winners here. And netizens, they saw this all unravel. Americans don't know anything about this. Now for the ear chapter. Now, do you guys remember this girl? Have you noticed something weird or odd about her ears? There's this huge elf ear trend where influencers are showing off their ears protruding outward unnaturally. Why? To make their face look smaller, of course. This is the second facial geometry lesson that you need to learn. You need middle school math to understand it, which is funny because the aesthetic is very much elementary school. Something doesn't add up here.
Yeah. After trying out the tapes and loving the result, I decided to get fillers to make my ears bigger. Then I headed into the treatment room and met Dr. Zhang. Honestly, it was totally manageable, just a little discomfort.
She posted her elf ears on Weibo, saying the injections behind her ear made her face look smaller. From the before photos, her ears were barely visible from the front when her hair was tied up. After the injections, her right ear jutted outwards, almost like it's seeking attention. What's especially ironic is that protruding ears used to be something people got bullied for, and now it's rebranded as an aesthetic. And some netizens with naturally protruding ears joked online that they saved a bunch of money because they don't need to get this procedure done. And then there's a male celebrity. Yes, men, you're included too. I didn't get any work done, but it's not like you can tell, obviously. There's this male celebrity called Xiao who literally implanted rib cartilage into his ears to achieve the look. Genuinely, no scenario where we should be doing this. None. And in conclusion, all these procedures were marketed so hard by salons that the trend completely outweighed the risk. This is really sad. And I know you guys in the comments will have a lot of opinions on this. The salons run a tight program here. You're shown the rewards and never the consequences, which is exactly how we end up with people drilling into their heads because Doyen said that their faces will look smaller. Sure, those Americans have surgeries for their face and their butt, but Dennis has pointed out that Chinese influencers actually want to cause controversy. That's why maybe they don't go for the quiet, more natural beauty that Chinese Olympians get complimented on, because quiet beauty doesn't look quite unrecognizable enough. And this brings us to Lisa, a girl who went famous for transforming her appearance so completely that not even her friends or family recognized her. Multiple major surgeries all aimed at this idol aesthetic. Her new face carried no resemblance to her original features whatsoever. Stories later, it came out that she was of mixed Russian and Mongolian heritage, and she's been bullied in school for her Asian features. After moving to South Korea, she decided to completely transform her identity, deleting all photos and videos to wipe off her previous self. Now, what makes all of this especially dangerous is that it's not targeted towards rich celebrities with unlimited budgets. It's targeted towards regular people. People who see a facial ratio, measure their face, and then immediately feel like they're failing a test. But the thing about facial ratios, even if you don't understand middle school math, is that once you know they exist, you can always find a new reason why you're not measuring up. Always another gap between where your face is and where the internet says it should be. And honestly, if your biggest problem is that your head shape is not high, stay off Douyin for a week and just be happy.